Once upon a time, there was a young man named Cheka. He was the kind of man who did everything with calmness and order. He liked fixing things. He liked clean spaces. He liked knowing what would happen the next day. He worked as a civil engineer in Enugu, and everyone knew him as the man who never shouted, never rushed, and never joked with safety. If a nail was bent, he straightened it. If a brick was loose, he fixed it. If a plan had one mistake, he tore it and started again. But even a man like Cheka could not plan for everything. It happened on a quiet evening. Cheka had closed from work late and was driving home on a long, lonely road that passed through a thick forest. His headlights were the only lights on the road. The trees on each side moved gently with the night breeze. His radio played soft music, and he hummed along, thinking about nothing serious. Then it happened so fast. A figure stepped onto the road. Cheka gasped and hit the brakes with all his strength. His car screeched loudly and almost spun. His heart jumped. For a moment, everything stopped. The road became silent again. The music had stopped playing. Only his loud breathing filled the air. Cheka held the steering wheel tightly and whispered to himself, "What was that? Who is on this road at this hour?" He slowly opened his car door and stepped out. The night air felt cold. His hands shook a little. He walked in front of the car, expecting to see an injured person. But the figure was standing tall and calm. It was a woman. A very beautiful woman. She looked young, maybe in her late 20s. Her skin was smooth and dark. Her hair fell gently on her shoulders, and her eyes were the kind you could not look away from. They were deep, bright, and almost strange, like they were studying everything around her. Cheka swallowed and said softly, "Madam, are you okay? I almost hit you." The woman did not speak at first. She only stared at him with an expression he could not understand. It was not fear. It was not anger. It looked more like she was thinking deeply about something. Finally, she spoke. Her voice was soft and calm. "I am fine. I am sorry for standing on the road." Cheka exhaled slowly. "It's dangerous. This place is too dark. What are you doing here?" She looked around the forest like she was searching for the right words. I needed to leave somewhere. I needed to get away." Cheka frowned. "From where?" She looked at him again, this time with a small sad smile. "It doesn't matter. Please, can you give me a ride?" Cheka hesitated. He was a careful man. He did not like sudden things. But the road was too lonely, and leaving her there did not feel right. He nodded. "Okay, you can come in." She walked toward the car slowly, her steps soft and gentle, like she was floating rather than walking. Cheka could not help but stare. Something about her felt different, but he could not explain it. When they sat inside the car, Cheka turned on the engine, and the lights inside revealed her face clearly. She looked even more beautiful than he first thought. But it was her eyes that held his attention. They were green. Not the kind of green you see in colored contact lenses. They looked natural, glowing softly like light passing through water. Cheka tried not to stare too much. He cleared his throat. "My name is Cheka." She looked at him again and said, "I am Adaora." He nodded politely. "Nice to meet you, Adaora. Where should I take you?" She looked out the window. "Anywhere far from here. Somewhere I can rest." The way she said it made Cheka feel a small shiver. It was like she was running from something, maybe danger. But he did not want to ask too many questions. They drove quietly for a few minutes. The forest was still dark, but Cheka felt strangely safe with her beside him. He did not understand why. She did not speak much, but her presence felt warm, almost protective. Suddenly, a large shadow moved across the road behind them. Cheka saw it in the rearview mirror and froze. It was long, very long. It moved like something sliding on the ground. Adaora also noticed. Her body tensed softly, but she forced her face to remain calm. Cheka asked quickly, "Did you see that?" Adaora nodded once. "Yes, keep driving." Her voice was low, controlled, almost commanding. Cheka tried to stay calm. "What was that?" "Just drive. she repeated. So he did. The car moved faster until they finally left the forest and entered the city lights of Inugu. When they reached a quiet part of town, Aurora asked him to stop near a small shop. She opened the door slowly. "Thank you for helping me," she said softly. Cheka looked at her. "Will you be okay?" "Yes." He nodded, though he did not believe it. "If you need anything, I can help." She looked at him for a long time, as if she wanted to say something but stopped herself. "Good night, Chaka," she said and stepped out. He watched her walk away. Even her steps looked like she belonged somewhere else, somewhere far from the world he knew. Chaka drove home still thinking about her. He tried to tell himself it was nothing, but inside, something bothered him. There was something about Aurora that felt unusual. The next morning, he told his friends at work about the strange woman he met. They laughed. "Chaka, forget it," his friend Obina said. "This is how movies start. You better be careful." Another friend, Keen, shook his head. "My brother, that girl sounds too mysterious. Be careful." Chaka smiled and brushed it off, but deep inside, he knew Aurora was not a normal woman. After work, he walked to a food stall to buy dinner. As he paid, he heard someone say softly behind him, "Cheka." He turned quickly. Aurora was standing there, calm, quiet, beautiful, wearing a simple dress that made her look like she didn't belong to the noisy street. Cheka blinked. "Aurora? How did you find me?" She smiled a little. "I told you I needed to get away. I didn't know where to go. So, I came here." Cheka felt something warm move through him. "Do you need help? A place to stay?" She nodded slowly. "Just for tonight." That was how it began. A simple act of kindness. A simple night of helping someone in trouble. But from that moment, Aurora became part of his life. She stayed for one night, then another. They talked for hours. She told him small things about herself but never the whole truth. She listened to him talk about his job, his family, his dreams. Soon, they were always together. And very soon after, they fell in love. People started whispering, "This girl is not ordinary." But Chaka didn't care. He saw kindness in her eyes. He saw gentleness in her voice. He saw warmth in her smile. He did not know that every time he held her hand, a large shadow curled behind her. He did not know that every night she cried quietly while looking at the moon. He did not know that something was watching them from the forest. And he did not know that Adeora's love for him was breaking a law older than any human world. But all that will come later. Cheka's life changed quickly after Aurora entered it. Days turned into weeks, and people started saying they looked perfect together. They walked to the market together. They sat at food stalls together. They laughed together. And whenever Cheka spoke, Aurora listened with full attention, like every word he said carried meaning. But even as they grew closer, Aurora still kept a part of herself hidden. She never talked about where she came from. She never talked about her family. She never talked about her past. Whenever Cheka asked, she would smile and say softly, "Some stories are better left for later." One weekend, Cheka decided to visit his grandmother in the village. He had not gone in a long time, and he wanted Aurora to meet the woman who raised him. Aurora agreed to go with him, though he noticed something strange in her eyes when he mentioned the village. It was a quick trip. They packed their bags, locked Cheka's apartment, and entered the car. The sun was bright. The weather was calm. Everything felt peaceful. But as they drove toward the village, the roads became quieter. The trees grew thicker, and Aurora became quieter than usual. She stared out the window the whole time, watching the trees pass by. Her hands sat gently on her lap, not moving. Cheka looked at her. "Are you okay?" She nodded. "Yes." "You're quiet." She forced a small smile. "I am thinking." "Thinking about what?" She looked at him for a moment, then faced the window again. "About life." Cheka didn't push any further. He wanted her to feel comfortable, not pressured. So he kept driving. When they arrived at his grandmother's compound, the old woman, Mama Nena, was sitting on a wooden chair under a mango tree. Her hair was white. Her face had deep lines, but her eyes were sharp, strong, and full of wisdom. She stood slowly and smiled when she saw Cheka. "My son," she said, stretching out her arms. Cheka hugged her tightly. "Mama, I missed you." She touched his cheek. "You have grown even more. Look at you." Cheka laughed softly. "Mama, this is Aurora." Mama Nena turned to Aurora, and the smile on her face slowly faded. Her eyes narrowed just a little, the way someone looks when they see something that others cannot see. Aurora bowed politely. "Good afternoon, Mama." Mama Nena nodded slowly but did not smile. She didn't look away from Aurora's eyes. The air around them suddenly felt heavier. Even Cheka sensed it. "Mama," he said, trying to break the strange silence. "We came to spend the weekend." "Yes, you have done well," she said softly, still staring at Aurora. "Come inside." Inside the house, Mama Nena cooked for them, but she barely talked. She watched Aurora carefully every time she moved. Even when Aurora smiled, the old woman did not return it. Later that evening, Cheka stepped outside to take a phone call. When he returned, he found Mama Nena standing by the doorway, waiting for him. She grabbed his arm and pulled him aside. "Cheka," she whispered, her voice low and serious. "Come, I need to speak with you." He followed her behind the house, confused. She stopped when they were far enough not to be heard. "Mama, what is it?" Cheka asked. She held his wrist tightly, her eyes locked on his. "My son, listen to me very well. The girl you brought here, she is not normal." Cheka blinked. "Mama, what are you saying?" "I saw her shadow. It is not the shadow of a human being." Cheka frowned. "What does that mean?" Mama Nena's voice shook a little as she spoke. "When she walked into my house, something behind her moved. Something long. Something that did not belong to the shape of her body. I thought I was seeing things, but when she turned, I saw it again. A long, crawling shadow." Cheka rubbed his forehead. "Mama, maybe you are tired." "No," she said firmly. "I am old, but my eyes still see what the eyes of young people cannot. That girl carries something heavy behind her. Something dark." Cheka tried to stay calm. "Mama, Aurora is a good person. She has never hurt anyone." Mama Nena shook her head slowly. "Good people also hide things. Cheka, where did she come from?" She didn't really say." Mama Nena sighed deeply. "My son, love is sweet, but you must open your eyes. That girl is hiding something. Something dangerous. I can feel it." Cheka felt a cold sensation move through him. He wanted to defend Aurora, but he also trusted his grandmother. She had never lied to him, never warned him without reason. "Mama," he said softly, "what do you think she is?" Mama Nena looked at the sky for a long moment before answering. "I don't know yet, but whatever she is not alone. Something follows her. Something walks behind her." Before Cheka could reply, Aurora stepped out of the house and walked toward them. Her steps were soft, but something about the way she approached made Mama Nena step back. "Aurora," Cheka said quickly, "we were just talking." Aurora looked at Mama Nena with gentle eyes. "Mama, is everything all right?" Mama Nena forced a stiff smile. "Yes, everything is fine." But her body language said the opposite. That night, after dinner, Aurora helped clean up while Mama Nena watched from the corner. There was a moment when Aurora bent to pick up a dropped spoon, and the lamp on the table flickered. A thin, long shadow stretched across the wall behind her. Mama Nena gasped softly and touched her chest. "Cheka," she whispered to herself, "you are playing with fire." When Aurora stood up, the shadow vanished. Later that night, when everyone was preparing to sleep, Aurora stepped outside to get fresh air. She stood under the moonlight, breathing slowly. Her eyes looked worried. She whispered to herself softly, "They know I'm here. They will come." Back inside, Mama Nena rushed to Cheka's room and knocked fast. "My son," she said, "I must speak again before it is too late." Cheka opened the door. "Mama, what now?" She stepped inside and closed the door behind her. "I don't know what she wants. I don't know what she truly is. But listen to me, be careful. Something is watching her. And if something is watching her, then it is watching you too." Cheka sat on the bed, trying to make sense of everything. "Mama, Aurora saved me once. She has been kind. She—" "No," Mama Nena cut in softly. "Kindness does not remove danger. Open your eyes, Cheka." Before they could continue, Aurora knocked gently on the door. "Cheka," she called, "are you all right?" Cheka froze. Mama Nena stepped back instantly, her breath shaking. Cheka opened the door halfway. "Yes, Aurora. Mama and I were just talking." Aurora looked at both of them with eyes that seemed to see more than they should. She spoke softly. "I hope everything is fine." Mama Nena said nothing. She simply nodded and walked away quickly. When Cheka stepped into the hallway, Aurora touched his arm lightly. "Your grandmother does not like me." "She is just worried," Cheka said. Aurora nodded slowly. "I understand. People always fear what they don't understand." Cheka felt a chill again but forced a smile. "It will be fine." But Aurora looked away, her voice dropping. "No, Cheka. Nothing will be fine soon." "Why do you say that?" She shook her head. "Because I feel something. Something close." And she was right. Far away, in the same forest road where Cheka first found her, a group of silent figures stood under the trees. Their eyes glowed faint green. One of them whispered, "She is delaying. She is getting weak. We must move." The wind blew hard around them, carrying their words straight into the night. Back in the village, Mama Nena whispered one last warning to the darkness. "God protect my son. Whatever follows that girl, it is not human." That night in the village, long after everyone had gone to bed, Aurora could not sleep. She stood outside the house, staring at the quiet trees. The moonlight rested on her face, but her eyes were not calm. They were filled with fear she could not hide anymore. She whispered softly to herself, "They are close, too close." Every sound around her made her heart jump. A rustling leaf, a passing owl, a soft wind. She felt danger everywhere. She knew the warning signs. She had been trained to feel them. And tonight, everything inside her screamed one truth. The cult was coming. Inside the house, Cheka slept peacefully, not knowing anything. Mama Nena, on the other hand, slept with her eyes half open. Even in her dreams, she kept seeing that strange shadow behind Aurora. When morning came, Aurora acted calm, but her hands shook every time she thought no one was watching. Cheka noticed it. "Are you sure you're okay?" he asked during breakfast. Aurora forced a smile. "Yes, I'm fine." Mama Nena sat across from them, watching the two of them with sharp eyes. She saw through Aurора's smile. She saw the fear. She saw the trembling fingers. And the old woman whispered in her heart, "Something is coming for her." After eating, Cheka and Aurora prepared to return to Inugu. Mama Nena hugged Cheka tightly, but when Aurora tried to greet her, the old woman touched Aurora's hand and felt a strange coldness run through her fingers. It was not the cold of weather. It was the cold of something unnatural. "Be careful, my son," Mama Nena said again as they entered the car. Cheka smiled. "Mama, stop worrying. We're fine." Mama Nena shook her head. "No, you are not." Aurora lowered her eyes, unable to look at the old woman. As Cheka drove away, Mama Nena stayed at the gate, watching them until the car disappeared. She shook her head slowly and whispered to the empty road, "Spirit child, why did you come for my son?" Meanwhile, in a deep forest far from human homes, a large old tree stood in the center of a circle of rocks. Beneath that tree, the Yumuik cult gathered. Their faces were half-covered with snake-like markings. Their eyes were bright green, glowing even in daylight. At the front stood two tall figures, Ekioma and Injoku, the cult's strongest enforcers. Their bodies looked human, but their movements were too smooth, too fast, too silent. Their skin had patterns like scales that appeared and disappeared as they breathed. The High Mother of the cult stepped forward. Her voice was cold. Adorora is delaying. The cult members hissed softly like snakes. She was sent to drain the destiny of Chaka, the engineer, the High Mother continued. But she is growing weak. She is confused. She is in love. A loud hiss filled the air. The cult saw love as sickness, a dangerous weakness. Ekioma lifted his chin. Should we bring her back? The High Mother shook her head. No. She has already touched the human heart. She will try to run. She will try to hide. Bring her, but not gently. And if the man is standing in your way. She paused and narrowed her eyes. End him. Injoku smiled. As you command. The cult members beat their fists on the ground. The forest shook. Ekioma and Injoku bowed and disappeared into the trees with lightning speed, heading straight for Inugu. Back in the city, Chaka and Adorora returned to their normal life. But Adorora kept checking the windows. She kept jumping at loud sounds. She kept watching shadows on the walls. Chaka noticed everything. One evening, they stopped at a fuel station on their way home. Chaka got out of the car and went to pay for fuel. Adorora waited inside, her eyes scanning the area. Something felt wrong. She felt it deep in her bones. Chaka, hurry, she whispered to herself. Chaka came out carrying a small plastic bag of snacks. Adorora, do you want? He didn't finish. A blur of movement flashed behind him. Adorora gasped. Chaka, move. Before he could react, a tall, dark figure landed behind him with silent speed. It was Ekioma. His eyes glowed green. His skin shimmered like scales. His voice was as cold as the night. Adorora, he said, you were called. You did not come. Chaka turned slowly, confused and scared. Adorora, who is this? But Adorora didn't answer. She pushed the car door open and ran out, standing between Chaka and Ekioma. Don't touch him, she said, her voice trembling but firm. A second figure landed on the roof of the fuel station, crouching like a wild animal. It was Injoku. We warned you, he said. Your heart is making you foolish. Chaka looked at Adorora, fear rising in him. What is happening? Who are these people? Adorora whispered without turning her head. Chaka, get back. Ekioma stepped forward. You were sent to take his destiny. Instead, you are protecting him. You have broken the law. Adorora shook her head quickly. No, I will finish the mission. Just leave him, please. Lies, Injoku hissed. Your heart is no longer with us. Chaka stepped closer to Adorora. Adorora, what are they talking about? Adorora closed her eyes for a moment. Not now, Chaka. Ekioma pointed at Chaka. He is the reason she is weak. Kill him, and she will return to us. Chaka froze. Adorora screamed, No. In a single instant, Ekioma leaped toward Chaka with inhuman speed. But Adorora moved even faster. She grabbed Ekioma's arm and slammed him into the car so hard the metal dented. Chaka's mouth fell open. He had never seen Adorora move like that. Never seen her touch anything with such force. Adorora, what are you? He whispered. There was no time to answer. Injoku jumped from the roof, aiming for Chaka, but Adorora caught him midair and threw him across the fuel station. He smashed into a stack of tires, sending them rolling everywhere. Ekioma got up and hissed, You dare fight us? Adorora stepped back in front of Chaka. Stay behind me. Whatever happens, do not run toward them. Chaka shook his head. I don't understand. You will, she whispered. Ekioma attacked again. Adorora blocked him, their arms clashing so hard it sounded like metal hitting metal. She kicked him away and turned to face Injoku as he charged again. The fight grew louder, faster, more violent. Cheka watched in fear as Aurora dodged every strike with movements too smooth to be human. Her reflexes were too sharp. Her strength was too strong. When she hit Njoku, he flew across the ground like a piece of cloth. At one point, Ekioma grabbed her arm. She twisted like a snake and slipped out of his grip, then slammed her elbow into his face. Cheka whispered to himself, "How is she doing all this?" After several minutes of fighting, the enforcers realized they were losing. Njoku wiped blood from his mouth and growled, "She has chosen the human." Ekioma spat on the ground. "She will pay for this." Aurora shouted, "Leave now. I will not go with you." Njoku glared at her. "You belong to us." "No," she said, breathing hard. "I am not yours anymore." The two enforcers looked at each other, then stepped back slowly. "This is not over," Ekioma said. "You have broken the bond. You have broken the law, and the High Mother will not forgive you." Then both of them vanished into the night, as quickly as they came. Cheka stood still, shaking. Aurora turned to him. Her face was full of fear and sadness. "Cheka," she whispered, "I'm sorry. I didn't want you to see this. Not like this." Cheka stepped back slowly. His voice shook. "Aurora, what are you? Who were those people? Why were they trying to kill me?" Aurora looked at the ground. "They weren't after you. They were after me. But you are in danger because of me." "Why?" Cheka asked again, louder this time. Aurora lifted her head. Tears filled her eyes but refused to fall. "Because I belong to something very old, something very dangerous, and I was sent to hurt you." Cheka stared at her with a mix of fear, confusion, and heartbreak. The truth was beginning to unfold. And this was only the beginning. The ride back home after the attack at the fuel station felt heavy. Cheka drove slowly, both hands shaking on the steering wheel. He kept looking at Aurora from the corner of his eye. He didn't speak. He didn't breathe normally. His mind replayed everything he saw: her speed, her strength, the strange men, the glowing eyes, the way she fought like something not human. Aurora sat quietly beside him. Her fingers were locked together so tightly her knuckles turned white. She didn't know where to start, how to talk, what to explain, or how to make Cheka believe that she never wanted him hurt. "Cheka," she finally whispered, "please talk to me." He didn't answer. He kept staring at the road. "Cheka," she said again, her voice breaking. He took a slow breath. I don't know what to say, Aurora. I don't even know what I saw. You fought like... He couldn't finish. Aurora lowered her head. "I'm sorry." "For what exactly?" he asked, his voice tight. "For lying to me? For hiding something this big? For letting those men come after me?" Aurora closed her eyes. "I wanted to tell you, many times, but I didn't know how." Cheka shook his head. "You said you came from nowhere. You said you were alone. You said there was nothing wrong. Aurora, those people tried to kill me. They wanted to take me," she whispered. "Not you. You only got hurt because I love you." Cheka's heart stung at those words. Love. That was the one thing he didn't want to hear right now. He parked the car slowly in front of his house. The silence felt too loud. Aurora reached for his hand, but he moved away. "I need to think," he said softly. "I'm not leaving you. I'm not chasing you. I need to understand." "I know," Aurora whispered, tears gathering in her eyes. "I will explain. Everything. But I need time too." 4 days, the two of them moved around each other like shadows. They still loved each other, but fear sat between them. A fear neither of them spoke about. But even fear cannot stop time. Weeks passed. Slowly, quietly, painfully. Yet something strange began to happen. Cheka could not stay away from Aurora. The more he tried to push her away, the more he remembered her gentle voice, her soft smile, the way she held him when he was sad, the way she cared for him. Aurora also stayed close. She cooked. She cleaned. She laughed a little more. She tried to act human, even if her heart still carried secrets she could not reveal. And as days turned to weeks, Cheka found himself staring at her again, the same way he did when he first met her. He still didn't understand her world. He didn't understand those men. He didn't understand the shadow behind her. But he understood one thing. He wanted to be with her. One evening, Cheka took her hand gently. "Aurora," he said, "I know you are hiding things, but I also know you saved me. I don't know what will happen tomorrow, but I want you with me." Aurora's breath trembled. "Are you sure?" "Yes," he said simply. And that was how their lives turned again, moving back into peace, or something that looked like peace. Soon, Cheka knelt in front of her one quiet night and said the words that made her cry. "Aurora, will you marry me?" She nodded before the question even finished. Yes, I will." The wedding planning started. Family members smiled. Friends cheered. Even Mama Nena, though still afraid, prayed for her grandson's safety. But far away, in the deep snake forest, the Yumuik cult watched. The High Mother placed her hands in a bowl of green water and whispered, "She thinks she is free. She thinks she can choose love. But the bond will pull her back." The water in the bowl showed Aurora smiling in a wedding dress shop. The High Mother hissed softly, "Let her enjoy these days. The wedding night will belong to us." The wedding day arrived like a dream. The sun was bright. The sky was clear. Flowers filled the air with sweet scent. Guests danced and laughed outside the church. Music played loudly. Children ran around carrying small balloons. Cheka looked handsome in his suit, smiling like a man who believed his life was finally going the right way. Aurora was breathtaking in her white gown. Her eyes shone softly. Her smile carried hope. Her hand trembled when she held her bouquet, but she forced herself to stay calm. When she entered the church, everyone gasped softly. She walked down the aisle with slow, graceful steps. Cheka watched her approach, and his chest rose with emotion. He whispered to himself, "She is my future." When she reached him, their fingers touched. And for a moment, it felt like the world stopped. The pastor spoke. The choir sang. Vows were exchanged. Rings were placed. And when the pastor finally said, "You may now kiss your bride," the crowd cheered loudly. Cheka lifted her veil and kissed her gently. Aurora closed her eyes, wishing with all her heart that this day could erase everything that came before it. But deep inside, the fear stayed. The fear she had carried from the forest. The fear she could never speak. After the church ceremony, everyone moved to the reception hall. It was decorated beautifully with golden lights, white cloth, and long tables full of food. Music boomed through the speakers. People danced with joy. Cheka and Aurora sat at the main table, smiling at guests. "Mr. and Mrs. Cheka," someone shouted, and everyone clapped again. But Aurora felt something strange in the air. A sharp coldness. A shift in the wind. A tension that crawled on her skin. Cheka noticed her body stiffen. "Aurora, are you okay?" She forced a smile. "Yes, I just need fresh air." Cheka held her hand. "We can go outside for a minute." They walked out to a quiet corner behind the hall. Aurora breathed slowly, trying to calm her racing heart. "Are you nervous?" Cheka asked gently. Aurora nodded. "A little." "About what?" She looked at the sky. "About tonight." Cheka laughed softly. "Everyone is nervous about their wedding night." Aurora didn't smile. "No, not like this." Before he could ask more, the sky suddenly darkened. The wind blew hard. The bright afternoon turned gray. The lights around the hall flickered. Aurora froze. "No, not now, not today." Cheka held her shoulders. "Aurora, what's happening?" Before she could answer, something slammed into her back, invisible but powerful. She gasped and bent forward, grabbing her chest. A burning pain spread across her spine. "Ow!" she cried. Cheka panicked. Aurora, what is it?" She fell to her knees. Her fingers dug into the ground. Her eyes widened in fear. "It's them. she whispered. They found me. What? Who? Before she could speak, her skin on her back glowed faint green. A shape like a snake symbol burned through her dress, bright and alive. The glowing mark pulsed like fire. Cheka stepped back in shock. Aurora, you're back. It's the seal, she cried. The cult seal. They marked me. They are calling me. The lights flickered again. The air grew colder. The trees around them shook violently without any wind touching them. Adeora's body shivered. She grabbed her head, breathing fast. Chaka, the bond. They activated it. They want me to finish the mission tonight. What mission? He shouted. Aurora looked at him with tears falling down her cheeks. The mission to destroy you. Cheka felt the world shift under his feet. No, no. She reached for his hand. I'm sorry. I wanted to break free. I wanted to be yours. But the cult, they won't let me go. As she spoke, her eyes began to glow faintly, a soft, eerie green light. Cheka stepped back slowly. His voice trembled. Aurora, your eyes. I know, she whispered, shaking. The transformation starts on the wedding night. They always planned it. The music from inside the hall faded behind them. Outside, the sky grew darker. Adeora's shoulders shivered. She tried to stand but fell again. Chaka, she whispered, something is happening inside me. Her eyes glowed brighter. Not human anymore. Not fully. The cult had touched her, marked her, and awakened what she feared the most. Adeora's eyes glowed brighter with every second. The green light inside them spread like fire, and her breath came out in sharp, shaking gasps. Cheka backed away slowly, his heartbeat pounding in his ears. The wedding hall music still played behind them, but it sounded far away now, like it belonged to another world. Aurora, what is happening? He whispered. Aurora squeezed her eyes shut, fighting the pain. The seal, the bond, it is forcing the change. It always begins on the wedding night. What change? Cheka asked again, fear filling his chest. She opened her eyes and looked at him. The glow was stronger now, bright enough to shine even in daylight. You need to get away from me. No, Cheka said, shaking his head. I'm your husband now. You don't understand, Aurora whispered. If you stay close, I won't be able to stop it. Cheka, I don't want to hurt you. A sharp wave of pain hit her again. She screamed and grabbed the wall with both hands, her fingers digging into the cement like it was soft clay. The ground under her feet shook slightly. Cheka froze at the sight. Aurora, your strength. She breathed fast. I can't hold it in anymore. The mark is calling the serpent inside me. The what? Cheka whispered. Aurora looked at him, her face full of fear and love and pain all at once. Run. Cheka didn't move. I'm not running. I won't leave you like this. Aurora cried out as another wave of pain shot through her back. Her spine twisted under her skin as if something was pushing from the inside. She staggered backward, her arms shaking violently. Cheka, please, she begged. Run before it starts fully. But Cheka stepped closer. Aurora, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. Let me help. You can't help me, she cried. I am not human. Not fully. And tonight, the truth will come out. Her knees buckled, and she collapsed to the ground, breathing hard. The glowing mark on her back pulsed like a heartbeat. Cheka ran to her side and tried to lift her, but she held up one trembling hand. Don't touch me, she shouted. It will trigger it faster. Cheka stopped immediately, his hands shaking. Aurora, what is coming? Tears rolled down her cheeks. The part of me that belongs to them. The serpent part. Before Cheka could speak, Aurora let out a long, painful scream. Her eyes rolled back. Her spine arched sharply. Her legs kicked against the floor. Then, it started. Her legs began to tremble uncontrollably. Her ankles twisted inward. Her bones cracked loudly, echoing through the quiet hallway. Cheka stepped back in shock, covering his mouth. Aurora. She placed both her palms on the ground. Her skin rippled like water, moving under her gown. Her legs pressed tightly together like something was pulling them. The gown tore slightly at the bottom. No, no, she cried. Not here, not in front of him. Her voice changed, deeper, heavier. Cheka stared with wide eyes. Aurora, your body. Her legs slowly merged. Her bones twisted and lengthened. The white gown stretched as her lower body transformed into something long, thick, and muscular. A serpent tail. Green, shiny, powerful. It pushed out from under her wedding gown, growing longer and thicker. Scales shimmered under the dim lights, glowing with the same green light as her eyes. Cheka stumbled back, hitting the wall. His voice broke. Oh God, Aurora. Aurora's upper body remained human. Her face, her arms, her hair. But everything from her waist down was now a massive emerald snake tail, coiling on the floor, lifting her slightly off the ground. She looked at Cheka with deep sadness. This is the real me. This is what I tried to hide. Cheka shook his head slowly, unable to process what he was seeing. Aurora, you're half serpent, she finished softly. Half human. I was born into the Yumuik cult. I was chosen to be one of their daughters. I didn't choose this. I never did. Her snake tail moved slightly, brushing against the wall with a soft hiss. The sound made Cheka flinch. Aurora saw his fear. It broke her. Cheka, she said weakly, I'm still me. I'm still Aurora. Please believe that. Cheka's mouth opened, but no words came out. Before he could try to speak, a cold wind blew through the hallway. The lights flickered again. Aurora's eyes widened in panic. They're coming. Who? Cheka whispered. The enforcers, she said. Ekioma and Injoku. They will finish the mission since I didn't. Suddenly glass shattered upstairs. Both of them looked up at the same time. A deep, angry voice echoed through the building. Aurora, you failed. Cheka felt his heart drop. They're inside. Aurora wrapped her snake tail protectively around her, lifting her upper body higher like a shield. Stay behind me. The floor above creaked loudly as heavy footsteps moved across it. Not human footsteps. They were too light, too fast, almost sliding. Cheka whispered, Aurora, what will they do? They want me to kill you, she said softly. And since I refused, they will do it themselves. The footsteps grew louder. Then, crash. The ceiling above them split as the two enforcers dropped into the hallway. Ekioma landed on all fours, his eyes glowing bright green. Injoku stood behind him, tall and thin, but with a shadow that stretched unnaturally long behind him. Cheka froze. Aurora hissed softly, not out of anger, but out of fear. Ekioma tilted his head. Look at you, Aurora. You finally took your true form. Beautiful. Injoku stepped forward slowly. The High Mother was right. Love made you break the bond. Aurora raised her voice desperately. Leave us alone. I'm not going back. You have no choice, Ekioma said. The mark has awakened the serpent in your blood. You belong to us. Injoku pointed at Cheka. And he must die tonight. Cheka stepped back instinctively. Aurora pushed her tail forward and blocked the space between them. No, you won't touch him. Ekioma laughed. You think you can fight us in this half-transformed state? You are weak. I'm stronger than you think, Aurora warned. Injoku frowned. Then prove it. He leaped forward with unbelievable speed, claws extended. Aurora spun her tail and knocked him away, slamming him into the wall so hard the plaster cracked. Ekioma growled. Traitor! He charged at her, swinging at her face. Aurora blocked him with her forearm, though her arm shook under the force. She struck him across the chest with her tail, sending him crashing into the floor. Cheka watched with wide eyes. Even half-transformed, Aurora fought with unbelievable power. But he could also see she was struggling. Her breath was sharp. Her tail weakened every time she struck. Adorora, stop. They'll kill you. Cheka shouted. Adorora didn't look at him. If I stop, they will kill you. Injoku jumped again, faster this time, and grabbed Adeora's tail near the base. She screamed in pain as his claws dug into her scales. Let go, she cried, whipping her tail wildly. Ekioma attacked from the front, trying to reach Cheka. Adorora blocked him with her body, taking a deep slash across her shoulder. Blood dripped down her arm. Adorora! Cheka screamed. She gritted her teeth. Cheka, run! I'm not leaving you. Ekioma hissed. He truly loves you. How sweet. We will enjoy killing him. Those words snapped something inside Adorora. Her eyes flared bright green. Her tail tightened around Injoku, lifting him off the ground and slamming him into the floor again and again. Don't touch him, she screamed. Injoku groaned in pain and rolled away. Ekioma tried to strike again, but Adorora caught his arm and twisted it sharply. She threw him hard into the wall. The impact shook dust from the ceiling. Breathing hard, Adorora looked at both enforcers, standing between them and Cheka with shaking arms. Ekioma wiped blood from his mouth. You have chosen your side. Injoku stood up slowly. And now you will die for that choice. Adorora raised her head proudly. Then I will die protecting him. The enforcers stepped back, their eyes glowing brighter. This is not over, Ekioma growled. Injoku pointed at her. The High Mother will come for you herself. Then both of them leaped out the broken window, disappearing into the night. Adorora collapsed to the floor. Her tail trembled weakly. Cheka rushed to her side, kneeling beside her, touching her face gently. Adorora, why? He whispered. She looked at him with tired, glowing eyes. Because I told you. I love you. Cheka held Adorora tightly as her huge snake tail trembled and slowly shrank back into her torn wedding gown. Her breath came out shaky and weak. She tried to lift herself, but her arms failed, and her head fell against Cheka's chest. Easy, easy, Cheka whispered, even though his hands were still shaking from fear. I'm here. I'm not leaving you. Adorora forced a small smile. You saw everything, yet you stayed. Cheka touched her cheek gently. I told you. I'm yours. A loud cracking sound echoed through the broken hallway. The two of them froze. Adorora lifted her head weakly. They're coming back, she whispered. We have to leave. Now. Cheka helped her sit up. But you're hurt. You can't walk with your tail. Adeora's tail twitched and glowed faintly, shrinking slowly, the scales dissolving into her skin. I can change back, she whispered. But it takes time. Cheka stood up and looked around the destroyed hallway. Then we move before they return. He placed her arm around his shoulders and lifted her gently. Adorora gasped in pain, holding on to him tightly. Cheka, they won't give up, she whispered, her body trembling. They will hunt us until we are caught. Then let them hunt, Cheka said, his voice shaking but firm. We will run. Adorora looked at him, shocked by his strength. You don't understand. They are not human. They are fast, too fast. Cheka nodded. Then we run faster. He carried her out of the hall, moving as quickly as he could. The guests at the reception were all inside dancing, not knowing their bride was half-serpent and being hunted by a deadly cult. As they stepped outside, Adorora whispered, left. Not right. Right goes toward the trees. They travel through trees. Cheka changed direction immediately. Behind them, inside the wedding hall, a deep, angry voice roared. She escaped. Find her. Adorora flinched. That's Injoku. Cheka didn't look back. He won't touch you again. He helped her into his car and locked the doors. Adorora leaned back, holding her weakened body. Cheka, she said softly, are you scared of me? He swallowed. I'm scared of losing you, not scared of you. Her eyes softened. Thank you. Cheka started the engine, but the moment he turned the wheel, Adorora grabbed his arm. No lights, she whispered quickly. They can track light the way snakes see heat. Cheka switched off the headlights. Then how will I see? Adaora pointed ahead. Moonlight. Trust it. Cheka took a deep breath, shifted the car into gear, and drove slowly with only the moon guiding him. As they reached the main road, a dark figure dropped from a tree onto the road in front of them. Cheka gasped and hit the brakes. It was Ekioma. His eyes glowed bright green. His body seemed taller now, and the moonlight made his skin look even more like scales. Adaora, he said calmly, you cannot run forever. Adaora's voice shook. Cheka, reverse. Cheka reversed fast, spinning the car. Ekioma ran after them, moving like a shadow sliding on the ground. Cheka! Adaora cried. Faster! Faster! Cheka pressed the pedal hard, and the car sped backward. Ekioma leaped forward and slammed his hand onto the trunk. The car shook violently. Cheka screamed, "He's on the car!" Adaora twisted around and shouted, "Ekioma, let go!" Ekioma hissed, "You belong to us, Adaora." He raised his clawed hand, ready to smash the back window. Cheka, turn! Adaora shouted. Cheka spun the wheel sharply. The car swerved hard, and Ekioma lost his grip and rolled onto the road. Drive! Adaora screamed. Cheka turned the car and sped away. He didn't dare look in the mirror. Adaora, is he following? He asked in a shaking voice. No, she whispered, but he will find us soon. They never give up. Where do we go? Cheka asked. Somewhere dark, Adaora said, breathing fast. Somewhere quiet. Somewhere with many hiding places. Cheka thought quickly and nodded. I know a place. He drove deeper into the city, avoiding major roads, avoiding light, avoiding every shadow that moved too strangely. Adaora lay across the seat, trying to breathe normally. Her tail continued shrinking slowly, her human legs slowly forming again. Cheka kept glancing at her. Is it painful? Adaora nodded weakly. Changing always hurts. They made sure it does. The pain controls us. Cheka clenched his jaw. I won't let them hurt you again. Adaora closed her eyes. You can't fight them, Cheka. They're not normal. Neither am I, apparently, Cheka whispered. Because a normal man would have run far away. Adaora opened her eyes and smiled through her pain. You're not normal. You're brave. Cheka didn't feel brave. He felt terrified. But he kept driving. After 20 minutes, he entered an industrial part of the city. Quiet, dark, full of old warehouses. Many of the buildings were abandoned. He stopped in front of one with broken windows and a rusted gate. This place? Adaora asked. It's where I used to store construction tools before the company moved, Cheka said. No one comes here anymore. Adaora nodded. Good. Cheka helped her out of the car. Her legs were almost fully human again, but she still couldn't walk well. She leaned heavily against him. They entered the warehouse. It was dark except for the moonlight coming through the broken roof. Dust hung in the air. Old metal shelves stood in rows. Cheka locked the door behind them and led her to a corner. Adaora sat down slowly, holding her stomach. Thank you. Cheka kneeled in front of her. Tell me what to do. How can I help you? Adaora looked at him with tired eyes. Just stay close. Your presence makes the change easier. Cheka nodded. But before he could speak again, Adaora shivered violently. Her fingers dug into the dusty floor. Cheka, something is happening. He held her shoulders gently. What's wrong? I feel weak, she whispered. My powers, they are fading. Cheka frowned. Is that good or bad? Adaora shook her head. Bad. Very bad. If my power fades, they can sense me even easier. It's like a dying flame. They follow the smoke. Cheka swallowed hard. Then we stay hidden. Very hidden. Adaora looked into the darkness of the warehouse. They will come. Maybe not now, but soon. We will be ready, Checker said, though he did not know how. Adaora ran a hand through her hair. You don't understand, Checker. They want me alive. They want you dead. They will tear through buildings to reach us. Checker sighed. I know, but Adaora, we can't give up. You didn't give up on me. I won't give up on you. Adaora looked down at her legs. Human again. Weak. Shaking. My tail is gone for now, she whispered. But it will return if danger gets close. Checker nodded. Then that's good. It means you can fight. Adaora shook her head. Not forever. I'm bleeding inside. They hurt me. Checker felt something twist in his chest. Because you protected me. Adaora smiled sadly. I would do it again. Checker couldn't hold back. He pulled her into his arms carefully. I love you, Adaora. Human or serpent or whatever you are. I love you. Adaora wrapped her arms around him slowly. I love you too. They stayed like that for a long moment. The warehouse was silent. Only their breathing filled the air. But outside, the night was not silent. Not at all. Far away, but not far enough, a hiss echoed through the wind. In Joku's voice, I can smell her fear. She is changing back. She is weak. Ekioma's voice followed. Good. Weak prey is easier to catch. Adaora opened her eyes sharply inside the warehouse. Checker. They're near. Checker pulled away. How do you know? Adaora placed a hand on her chest. My mark. It burns when they get close. Her back glowed faint green. Checker looked around the warehouse. We need to hide deeper. Adaora nodded. Help me stand. Checker helped her up, though she leaned heavily against him. They moved toward the back of the warehouse where old boxes were stacked. Adaora whispered, Checker, promise me something. What? If anything happens, run. Checker shook his head immediately. No, I won't run. You must, Adaora said weakly. They need me alive. They don't need you. Checker held her tighter. I'm not leaving. A faint noise echoed outside, footsteps on gravel. Adaora's eyes widened. Checker, they found us. Checker breathed hard, his heart racing. Adaora pressed her hand to her chest as her skin began to glow faintly again. My tail, it's coming back, she whispered. I can feel it. The footsteps outside the warehouse grew louder. They were not normal footsteps. They slid across the ground like something that wasn't fully touching the earth. Adaora's skin glowed brighter. Her breath grew faster. Her legs shook as the serpent side inside her pushed upward again. Checker, she whispered, her voice full of fear. They have found us. We cannot stay. Checker looked around the warehouse, searching desperately for something he could use to protect her. Where do we go? They're outside. There's no back door. Adaora leaned against a stack of dusty boxes, her hand pressed to her chest. We must leave the city. They do not like crowded places. They fight best in the forest. That is where they are strongest. Checker frowned. Then why go there? Adaora met his eyes. Because it is the only way to reach the Umuduru. Who are the Umuduru? Checker asked. They are our enemies, she whispered. But they are also your only chance. Before Checker could ask more questions, a deep hiss echoed outside. In Joku's voice, I know you're inside. Come out, Adaora. Ekioma's voice followed. Don't make us tear the place apart. Adaora grabbed Checker's hand. We run now. How? Checker asked, fear rising in his chest. Adaora's eyes glowed. My tail is returning. I can break the wall. Checker looked at her in confusion. Break the wall. Adaora nodded once, her face pained. Stand back. Her legs pressed together reshaping, her bones twisting, scales pushing through her skin. A long, emerald tail burst out once more, ripping the bottom of her dress. She winced in pain but held herself up. Move, Checker, she said, breathing hard. Checker stepped back quickly. Adaora twisted her tail and slammed it hard against the old warehouse wall. Crash! A large hole opened, bricks falling around them. Go! Adaora shouted. Checker didn't think. He grabbed her hand, and they ran into the night. Behind them, Ekioma roared. They escaped again. Adaora looked at Checker. Into the car. Hurry! Checker helped her into the passenger seat, ran around the car, jumped in, and started the engine. The tires screeched as he drove away. Adaora's tail slowly shrank again, but she was breathing weakly. Checker, she whispered, head toward the forest. Toward the old river. That is where we find the Umuduru. Checker drove as fast as he could, turning corners, speeding over bumps, dodging stray dogs and night shadows. His heart pounded so loud he could barely hear the engine. Adaora, he said quickly, tell me who the Umuduru are. She closed her eyes. They are a clan that has been fighting the Umuik for centuries. They protect people from us, from my kind. And they will help us. Checker asked. They help humans, Adaora whispered. They do not help me, but if you ask, they may listen. Checker pressed the pedal harder. Then we go to them. Behind them in the distance, two glowing pairs of green eyes appeared on the rooftops, racing after the car at impossible speed. They are still following, Checker said, panic rising. They will follow until I am dead or taken, Adaora said softly. We cannot slow down. The road grew bumpier as they reached the outskirts of the city. Trees rose around them. The moon looked brighter. The air turned colder. Checker swallowed. This forest, is this where your cult lives? Adaora nodded slowly. Yes, and the Umuduru camp is deeper inside. Checker kept driving until the road disappeared completely. He stopped the car. We walk from here. Adaora looked at the trees shaking in the wind. Yes, but stay close. The forest listens. Checker helped her out. Her legs were human again but still weak. She leaned heavily against him as they moved into the thick vegetation. Every rustle made Checker jump. Every shadow made Adaora tense. As they walked deeper, Adaora whispered, Checker, I am scared. Checker held her tighter. I'm scared too, but we move together. Suddenly, a loud crack echoed behind them. A tree branch snapped. Adaora froze. They are here. Checker turned quickly, but saw nothing. Only darkness between trees. Run, Adaora whispered. They ran, Adaora dragging her legs as fast as she could. Another crack. Another hiss. Then, Ekioma landed directly in front of them. His eyes shone like lamps. His lips curved into a twisted smile. You thought you could hide in the forest? This is our home. Njoku dropped behind them, blocking the path back. She has chosen the human. Weakness. Checker backed up, placing his arm around Adaora. Stay behind me. Adaora shook her head quickly. No, Checker. They will kill you first. Ekioma stepped forward. Enough talk. Adaora, return to us. Now. Adaora shook her head firmly. Never. Njoku looked at Checker with cold eyes. Then he dies now. He charged forward like a flash of green light. But before he reached them, a loud horn blasted through the forest. Deep, echoing, powerful. Ekioma stopped midair. Njoku froze. Adaora gasped. The Umuduru, they heard us. From the darkness, figures stepped out. Tall men and women with markings of old war paint across their bodies. They carried spears and curved blades that glowed faint gold. At their front stood a strong warrior with a scar across his face. He lifted his weapon. Step away from the humans. Ekioma hissed. This is not your fight, Umuduru. The warrior stepped forward. Everything that enters this forest becomes our fight. Njoku narrowed his eyes. We came for one of our own. Adaora whispered, they know I'm not human. Checker held her. They don't care. They came to protect us. The Umuduru leader pointed his glowing spear at Ekioma. Leave. Now. Or fall. Ekioma growled. We do not fear you. Then face us, the warrior said. The forest exploded with movement as both sides clashed. Umuduru warriors crashed into the enforcers, striking with speed and strength. Ekioma dodged a spear and swung his claws at one warrior, tearing his arm. The warrior cried out but fought back harder. Njoku leaped into the air and kicked 3 warriors to the ground. Adorora held Chika tightly. We must move while they fight. The shrine is close. Cheka nodded. Lead the way. They ran through the trees as the battle raged behind them. Screams, clashes, hisses, thuds shaking the forest floor. Adorora pointed ahead. The shrine, the cult shrine, it is where I must go. Cheka frowned. Why go toward them? Adorora looked at him with sadness. The Umuduru can protect you, but to break my bond, I must confront the High Mother. What bond? Chika asked. The serpent bond. The one that controls me. The one that wants to use me to destroy you. Cheka felt his throat tighten. Adorora. She touched his cheek. I must break it, Cheka, or I will lose myself forever. They pushed through a thick wall of vines until the forest opened into a huge clearing. In the center stood a shrine made from old stones, carved with strange snake symbols. A green flame burned in the middle, though there was no firewood. Cheka stared. This place. Adorora trembled. This is where they raised me. This is where the cult controls their daughters. Before Chaka could speak, a figure stepped out of the shadows. Tall, thin, wrapped in dark robes. Her eyes glowed brighter than Ekioma's or Njoku's. The High Mother. She smiled when she saw Adorora. My lost daughter, she said softly, her voice deep and cold. You finally returned on your wedding night. Adorora shivered. I didn't come for you. I came to end the bond. The High Mother laughed gently. You cannot end what you were born into. Cheka stepped forward. Leave her alone. The High Mother's eyes narrowed. So this is the man who made you weak. Adorora stepped in front of him. He is not weak. He is the reason I am still fighting. The High Mother raised her hand. The green flame exploded higher. It is time to finish the destiny you tried to escape. Adeora's legs trembled. Her skin glowed again. Her spine arched as the serpent inside her awakened once more. Cheka grabbed her arms. Adorora, stay with me. The High Mother whispered a chant. Return to us, child of the serpent. Adorora screamed as her body shook violently. Cheka held her tighter. Fight her, Adorora. Adorora cried, Cheka, don't let me go. The High Mother stepped closer, her eyes fixed on Adorora. You belong to us. Adorora glared back through her pain. Not anymore. Adorora screamed as the High Mother's chant pulled at her body like invisible ropes tightening around her bones. Her spine twisted. Her skin rippled. The serpent inside her clawed for control, fighting to burst out again. The green flame in the shrine burned higher, lighting the trees around them with a sharp glow. Cheka held her from behind, his arms wrapped tightly around her shaking body. Adorora, stay with me. Don't listen to her. Adorora grabbed his hands, her fingers digging into his skin. Cheka, I'm trying, but she is too strong. The High Mother stepped closer, her dark robes flowing like smoke. Let go, child. You were never meant to be human. Return to the power you were born for. Adorora shook her head violently. No, I don't want this. I want to be free. You were never meant to be free, the High Mother whispered. You were meant to serve. Cheka stepped in front of Adorora, blocking the High Mother's reach. She chooses her own life. You don't control her anymore. The High Mother's lips curved into a cold smile. You are a brave human, but bravery cannot stop destiny. She lifted her hand. Adorora gasped. Her spine snapped upright, and her legs merged again, forming the beginning of a serpent's tail. She screamed as the transformation tried to take over completely. No! Cheka shouted, grabbing her shoulders. Adorora cried through clenched teeth. Chaka, let me go. I can't control it. I won't let you face this alone, Chaka said. I won't. The High Mother raised both hands now, and the green flame shot upward like a pillar. The ground shook. The trees trembled. Strange symbols glowed across the shrine floor. Aurora, the High Mother said, her voice echoing, complete your transformation. Become who you truly are. Aurora screamed again as her tail grew longer, scales pushing through her skin. But suddenly, a loud horn blasted through the forest. The same Umuduru warriors who saved them earlier stormed into the clearing. Their leader held a golden spear glowing brighter than before. High Mother, he shouted, your reign ends today. The Umuduru warriors charged into the shrine. The High Mother turned her eyes onto them. Foolish humans, you cannot defeat me on sacred ground. She waved her hand, and green energy blasted outward. Several warriors flew backward, landing hard on the forest floor. But more kept coming. Cheka pulled Aurora away from the center of the shrine. Stay with me. Don't give up. Aurora trembled. I have to fight. This is my battle. No, Cheka whispered, tears filling his eyes. It's ours. The High Mother's attention shifted toward Aurora again. Child, you cannot hide. The serpent inside you is awakening. Adeora's tail twisted hard, slamming against the ground. She cried out as more scales formed. Cheka held her face. Look at me. Don't look at her. Look at me. Aurora forced her shaking eyes to lock onto Cheka's. I'm scared. I know, Cheka said softly, but you're not alone. Behind them, warriors and cult enforcers clashed violently. Weapons clashed against claws. Bodies hit the ground. The green flame shook like it was alive. The High Mother began chanting again, and the scales on Adeora's body spread faster. Aurora screamed and reached for her chest. Chaka, it's taking over. No, Cheka said firmly. Fight it. Fight her. Fight everything. Aurora shut her eyes, tears sliding down her cheeks. I'm trying. The High Mother raised her staff. This is the final call. You will return to us. And with a scream, Adeora's full serpent tail burst out, lifting her body from the ground. She cried out in agony. Cheka jumped in front of her again. Stop hurting her. The High Mother looked at him with cold amusement. If you want her, then die with her. She pointed her staff at Cheka. A blast of green energy shot toward him. But Aurora used her tail to knock him out of the way. The energy hit the shrine floor, cracking it open. Adeora's voice shook as she screamed, Don't touch him. The High Mother turned her attention fully to Aurora now. Then kill him yourself, she commanded. End your weakness. Adeora's tail curled tightly. Her human half cried. Her serpent half reached for Cheka. Cheka, she whispered. Move away, please. No, he breathed. I won't. Her serpent tongue flicked. Her eyes glowed bright green. She moved toward him involuntarily. The High Mother smiled. Yes, finish him. Aurora. Cheka shouted. Fight it. Fight her voice. Adeora's hands shook. Her tail lifted dangerously high. The serpent inside her pushed harder. The High Mother chanted louder. The green fire rose. Aurora screamed and slammed her tail into the shrine floor, trying to resist the command. No, I won't hurt him. The shrine stones cracked. The ground shook harder. The High Mother hissed. Then you will die with him. She raised her staff again. But before she could strike, the Umuduru leader jumped forward and stabbed the ground with his glowing spear. Golden energy exploded from the center, clashing with the High Mother's green fire. The air cracked like thunder. The shrine stones shattered. The green flame exploded upward. The High Mother screamed in anger as the golden energy pushed her back. Aurora, the Umuduru leader shouted. Break the bond now. Destroy the shrine. Aurora blinked through tears. Destroy the shrine. Yes, he yelled. This shrine is the source of her hold on you. Break it. Adorora looked at the ground, the cracked stones, the glowing symbols, the heart of the cult. She wrapped her serpent tail around the center stone. Cheka shouted, "Do it, Adorora." With a loud cry, Adorora slammed her tail against the stone. It cracked. She slammed it again. It split. She screamed and smashed it again and again. Until, boom, the shrine stone shattered completely, and the green flame burst upward into the sky like an exploding star. The High Mother screamed, clutching her chest. "No! The bond! You broke the bond!" Adorora fell to the ground, her serpent tail collapsing beside her. Her body shook violently as the green glow faded. The forest shook. The cult symbols vanished from the ground. The air grew clear again. The High Mother stumbled backward, her eyes dimming. "My power, my children, everything." The Umuduru leader raised his spear and struck the ground one last time. A wave of golden light washed over the clearing. The High Mother dropped to her knees. Her skin cracked like broken stone. Her eyes went dark, and she dissolved into dust, carried away by the wind. The cult was finished. The Umuduru warriors lowered their weapons. "It is done," the leader said. Cheka ran to Adorora. "Adorora, Adorora, talk to me." Adorora lay on the ground, breathing weakly, her tail fading back into human legs. Her skin looked pale. She touched his face with shaking fingers. "Cheka, I broke it. I broke the bond." "You saved us," he whispered, hugging her gently. Adorora smiled weakly. "The serpent inside me is dying." She gasped softly, her body shaking in pain. "Cheka, I feel something burning inside." The Umuduru leader knelt beside them. "She has the venom of the cult inside her. The High Mother wounded her deeply. She will die unless we cleanse her now." "Cleanse her," Cheka said quickly. "Do it." The warriors lifted Adorora gently and carried her toward their hidden camp deeper in the forest. Cheka ran beside them, holding her hand. Inside the camp, Adorora was laid on a sacred stone table. The Umuduru elders surrounded her, chanting softly. They placed herbs on her chest. Golden smoke rose. Cheka stood at her side, refusing to move even when the warriors told him to stand back. Adorora whispered, "Cheka, I'm scared." "I'm right here," he whispered. "You're safe now." The leader placed a hand on Adeora's forehead. The serpent blood must be burned out. Adorora screamed as golden light covered her body. Her tail tried to form again but faded halfway. Her eyes glowed, then dimmed. Scales formed on her skin, then dissolved. Cheka held her hand tighter. "Stay with me, Adorora." She cried through her teeth. "I'm trying." The golden light grew brighter, surrounding her, shaking her body. Then, the light exploded outward like a soft wave. Adorora gasped and fell still. Cheka leaned over her. "Adorora, Adorora, wake up." She didn't move for a moment. Then slowly, her eyes opened. They were brown, not green. She looked at her hands, her arms, her legs. No scales, no glowing marks. She whispered softly, "Cheka, I'm human." Cheka cried and pulled her into his arms. "You're free. You're finally free." Adorora hugged him tightly. "Thank you for believing in me, even when I was a monster." "You were never a monster," Cheka whispered. "You were the woman I loved." The Umuduru leader stepped forward. "The cult is gone. The serpent curse is broken. She is one of you now, fully human." Adorora wiped tears from her cheeks. "I can choose my life now." Cheka smiled. "Choose me. Choose us." Adorora placed her forehead against his. "I already did." The forest grew calm. The night became peaceful. And for the first time in her entire life, Adorora breathed as a free woman, a human woman, ready to live her life with the man she loved.